And we are back for the final segment. This is the news. Okay.
So, news of the day. Yahoo! Josh broke his gear!
This is totally my fault. I even knew it was the wrong battery adapter, but I did it anyway and it blew up and I shouldn't have. But I have a video light. This is my light that I use to do ribbons. So I did a charity event. We did AIDS awareness and I drew a big red AIDS ribbon with a gel, and now it's blown up because this 12 volt input, and it says that 12 volts.
It actually says 12 volts.
These are not standard. So these little things, these adapters, can be 24 volts or different amps. And I plugged in, I think it was an 18 volt thing, and blew up. Now you said it was because
the amps is not right.
Milliamp hours.
No, it's not the milliamp hour, it's the amp, it's the current.
The current was too powerful. So I plugged in a freaking
I think
Canon.
it's the 1 current thing for this one and 1.8 current for that one.
Totally my fault. I plugged in a Canon selfie printer in here because I couldn't find this thing, and then when I did find it, I thought this is too short, I'm just going to go with the Canon thing, and I blew up my light. This was expensive. This is a very, very bright and powerful video light, and now it is a paperweight. I'm really annoyed at myself. However, I'm not too annoyed.
Let it go, let it go.
Oh, I like this light. However, I'm not too annoyed because Yongno, which is a manufacturer of kind of cheap but good photographic equipment, are coming out with a light stick after Chinese New Year in March. They have one that's similar to this, but it's flat and it can change colors. It's got RGB LEDs in it, so you can change colors, and it's got white ones, so you can have white light. You can change the color temperature, so you can do warm or daylight balanced LED. It's different to this, and you can put a battery on it. You can put an AC power adapter, which I'm going to be very careful of. So, and it's cheap. That's the important thing. It's like, I think it's going to retail for about $75 US. This thing, believe it or not, cost me the equivalent of $250 US when I got it a whole year ago. And this is actually a Chinese-made copy of the Ice Light, which Westcott makes. So the form factor is really cool. A sticky light that's small and you can use to light stuff. And they're great. So I'm very happy that they came up with a new one, which is a quarter the price. I'm probably going to buy a few of them. But it meant that we couldn't light us there. So look, our skin's it's more soft today. It still looks good. But usually I use a main light.
Now you can use this for webcam.
I don't know if we can replace it because the main board is fried. I don't know what to do with this. Maybe someone will want to buy it as parts because most of it still works. I don't know.
Alright, on to the second thing. He deleted his own files by accident.
I just had a nightmare show, didn't I? I deleted the last show.
On the same day what we did, there's like, he broke this thing. He deleted the whole files of the video we did last time.
I thought it was a different show with us because I named it the panel show, and I ran out of space on my Drobo, and I was like, oh crap, I can't even, it's on red warning, I can't, everything's slow, I'm just going to delete this panel show. You know, there's 100 gigabytes because we had multiple cameras. We had the TV here, we had a separate camera on the TV, we had the main camera. Anyway, this is a better
it's all
setup,
deleted. Anyway. And there's no, remember, lesson of the day, backups. Backups.
No, I can't back. These are too big, these files. 100 gigs, I run out of space. So
100 gigs is very small.
I upload them to YouTube. I do one every day. I upload it to YouTube.
3 terabytes is like how much nowadays? Like $200?
Yeah, but then you have to buy the enclosure for it. So I'm thinking of buying yet another Drobo and filling that up with drives. Or I might just get the big server one. This is so expensive, and
really?
You know, I was shooting 4K.
I thought this is cheap nowadays.
Well, ish. When you fill up 100 gigs a day, you fill up hard drives like crazy, and plus you need redundancy. So it's not one hard drive; you have couples to mirror, and you know.
Just go.
I'm just gonna upload to YouTube and then delete it.
Yep. Next thing. Also on the video, we screwed up on the shutter speed thing. Now that you see it here, here or here, the flickering.
Yeah, there's no flickering. Look how smooth this video is. There's no bands that go up and down like this.
But while I was setting up the camera last time, it all got all these flickers. And how are we supposed to fix the problems like this?
Now, this is because my LED lighting is very bright. But there's a flickering, I don't know why, but these flicker when you set it to a really fast frame rate. There's something with these that still blink. I don't get.
Well,
why.
actually, I think it's the like lights like this, they refresh every second. So supposedly when you take photos of the flash, you're not supposed to use the same speed as the flash sync.
Now there is a
flash, no, not the flash, but the lighting, the translucent lighting.
Well, fluorescents are really bad at these. They have a current, so 50 or 60 hertz, depending on where you are. America, 60 hertz. Pretty much the rest of the world, 50 hertz. So there's 50 cycles of electricity. So your frame rate, your shutter speed has to be in multiples of 50. So right now we're shooting at 1/25 of a second, which is multiples of 50. But there's something with these LED lights that are faster, and I've been recording stuff in here, and I've had flickering. So I need to. LEDs are kind of different. At least these ones are. So I need to investigate that. But
lesson of the day: always check your shutter speed before you take the video, because I noticed the flickering. I just never do anything.
You even saw it and you thought, meh.
What are they doing about it? I'm the lazy photographer.
But anyway, good thing is we lost that whole show and we're doing it again. We have a better setup.
He did this on purpose, so yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's on to our. Speaking of mistakes. Mistake of the day. Da-da. Even Nikon makes mistakes.
No, I don't think it's totally their fault because, I mean, they should probably check it. They should probably check it, but you know.
Let us give them the details.
Okay.
This photo here, nicely composed. He even have the time to make sure the aircraft comes in perfectly at the center. Look at the leading lines.
Yeah, everything.
They even have.
Yeah, okay, we get it.
Yes.
So the composition's great.
Perfect.
He must have spent all day there waiting for this plane to show up at that moment to press the shutter.
Yeah, and
or
did he? It's too perfect, right? The world is not a perfect place, so.
Yeah, well, people have this thing called Photoshop, but actually it wasn't done on Photoshop. It was done with an app on the phone.
It was done on an app.
Yeah, it wasn't Photoshop. It was like a mobile phone app.
Yep. So what they discovered afterwards, like Nikon totally missed this, but the YouTubers or like the web presenters,
good old people on the internet.
Yeah, good old people on the internet found that this
can't get away with murder
most
these
likely
days.
in Photoshop photo, and then that's the reason why they changed the levels. They changed the.
So all they did here was like they got the midpoint, which is usually here.
Or the midtones, yeah.
Zip up to here. That brings all the midtones. Makes them darker. So now we can see how, we can see the boundary edges of that graphic that was put on top. And people were saying, oh, why don't you use multiply mode and all that? But it wasn't done in Photoshop.
Yeah.
So the comments are actually very funny.
Yeah. How long did you wait for the plane? Not too long. I was lucky. Thank you very much. He got the guts to reply such things.
Was that actually him?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because he actually apologized.
But it was too late.
Oh yeah, these are the funny. Yeah.
And then so that what people from the internet do, like this guy needs some servings of revenge.
Yeah. So this is a good old photo chop. I'm just gonna enlarge that so we can see it. Oh.
I think it's too large. I think the previous one was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, instead people started to like, if you do superimposing, you should superimpose these.
This is great. So we got monks on a roller coaster.
Oh, even have Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's head. Not that funny, that one.
Totally not photoshopped.
I have the same
lens.
Now you didn't know what this is. This is one of the ships.
Oh yeah, I never know. I never know this is from Star Wars.
You haven't watched Star Wars, David?
I remember I watched 4 to 6 and that's about it.
But they're in every single one.
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe I forgot about it.
Okay.
Godzilla. Rah. That seems legit. This is a train, not.
Yeah, actually, it seems more. It makes more sense.
It makes more sense this one. Oh wow, sexy bride. This is runway 2016. Oh yeah, it does really looks like a bride and he was walking towards something.
Mm. Okay, so
007.
So
yeah.
it's not totally Nikon's fault. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
And
it takes
there's more
time.
of this, and then yeah.
Why would they even suspect? There's a photo competition. You hope your entries are.
the mistake. Yeah, Nikon admitted their access and
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
So yeah, as you say, it's a competition that expect people to not cheat, basically.
Yeah, and well, hopefully a bit more diligence. Like, I'm not sure how many people see this Facebook page. Was it on their main one with millions of viewers, or, you know?
Yeah.
Because I actually shoot for Nikon's Facebook in Asia. I have some work there. I actually
Nikon captures casual photography, contrast crops you to.
I actually get a Nikon camera and I go and shoot some of their images, and it's usually to encourage other people to shoot more. So I'll do a demo, I'll shoot something, and then they'll put up on Facebook, and then other people send in the stuff that they've done. So that's actually quite fun to shoot for Nikon.
Maybe we can maybe after all this we can get a competition, a small little competition to do as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the best one, Wally.
Where's Waldo?
Well, we call him Wally in Australia, but the rest of the world
I think
is Waldo.
there is Waldo and Wally.
It's the same guy though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been calling it Wally
Yeah, it's Wally in Australia.
as well.
Anyway.
Alright, anyway, that's what we have next.
Okay.
Oh yes!
And new Sony gear.
News of the week.
Now
A6000, X6300 is
Now,
doing this.
Sony do not pay us. In fact, we literally sponsor Sony by giving them our hard-earned money so we can get cameras. So we sponsor Sony, and now they have new A6300.
300, yes. The successor of A6000.
Okay, so tell us about this camera. This is the one you've been
waiting for so long.
It was a badly kept secret. You said, "Oh, I want the A661."
Yeah, it was A6100, and then it came out like A7000, and blah blah blah. And then a typical Sony fashion, they changed the name, and then it's like A6300 nowadays.
Okay, their name. By the way, so your names suck. I don't know. This camera there is A7R Mark II, but it's also called the A7R ILCE interchangeable lens camera Mark II, and then the front of it says A7R, no Mark II, but the back of it says A7R Mark II. But then on the A7S there's a 2, and on the so there's no 2 on the front. It's a huge mess. All this naming. Just call your cameras one name. So Canon's not even better. They call their cameras Rebel in some markets, and then
T3i.
Just one name. I don't care. Just call it whatever you want, but don't give it 1,000 nicknames. It's very confusing. Anyway, just a little rant.
This camera has got the main idea of this camera is awesome autofocus. Autofocus.
That's great. Sony have actually been getting their autofocus really good. I had an A7R. I couldnn't focus. I had to tear my hair out.
It's from this to this.
Yeah.
So well done, Sony. This is one thing that you can do right.
So it's fast. Oh, I like Sony because they are.
Well, actually, when they do their press conference, if you can check back out, the link is somewhere.
Yeah, we should throw a link or a comment. You throw a comment up.
Yeah, actually, here this is what Sony said they would do.
Oh, specs. Let's make this big so people can see it. Okay.
Sony Capture One for Sony. Yeah, get Capture One when you get a Sony. That's the one reason why you should get a Sony. So here is it, the A6300.
Okay, beautiful.
Claimed to be the fastest AF.
Looks the same.
Looks the same. As the 4D focus, like the A772.
Okay.
Focus peaking, innovation. They claim to have a wider sensor plate for detecting light, so better ISO performance.
Okay, so less noise. Okay.
Hope so.
All this tech marketing
All
stuff.
this tech marketing and stuff. 4K without binning.
Okay.
4K video.
It's a very clean 4K output.
Yep. And they're going to use the whole sensor apparently. It's supposed to be 6K and then it down into 4K.
Oh, that's very nice.
Something like that.
I like 4K, but I don't shoot in 4K. Haven't been shooting in 4K these days because people can't see it. and the files are so big.
And my skin is not that good.
And this camera can't do the output. Actually, it can't do HDMI output with the data, but if we're using this nice little Play Memories thing, it can. So
Yeah.
maybe we should go back to 4K.
Let me get this camera first. They have Wi-Fi, NFC.
Yeah, so what's new? What's new in this thing? Why do I want it? I have an A7R Mark II, it's full frame. Why would I want this?
You can plug your AC in and you can record. You can use it as a power supply.
Okay, but you're supposed to be able to do it. You're supposed to be able to do it on the A7R
No,
Mark II.
no, not natively.
Are you sure? Let's check this.
Let's check the first spec.
Haven't got it working. Okay, I like the smaller body.
It's really good. It's like the full body form factor.
APS-C, smaller sensor, but cheaper and smaller and lighter.
Yes, lighter,
including your lenses, and the lenses cost a bomb.
Yep, and you get some cheap APS-C lens.
So cheaper
it's
lens.
really good for enthusiasts like me,
Yeah,
where you can just get a better upgrade.
So we could talk forever about full frame, and full frame's good. Bit more depth of field, so you can blur out the background a bit more. Heavier, more expensive, of course, the flip side, and better in low light. Better in low light.
This is pornography.
People can't read this, David. You're scrolling through this like.
Really?
Just send them the link. Just put some pretty pictures up. Yeah. No one wants to see text.
Yeah, text is good. Good stuff.
We can always read about it. Okay, so are you going to get one?
Most likely. I might wait a bit more on the reviews on the ISO before making a final decision, but it's pretty promising, and yeah.
Yeah.
Also announced that day was the 3 lenses.
Well, Draflier and JTVD Diary are unofficial sponsors of Sony by paying them money.
G Master lens. Sony.
Okay, now this is exciting for me because I'm on a full frame.
Yeah,
body.
these are the really expensive lenses.
So what do we got here? We got new lenses. New lenses from Sony. Horror's lenses today from Sony.
New lens standard.
Okay, so, yeah, we see the marketing. Okay, what's good about? So, what are these lenses?
Hang on. Yep.
Oh, here we are. Now they're supposed to be sharp, so it'd be nice to.
These lenses are made for like a cameras with 50 megapixels.
50 megapixels.
Yep.
So I've got 45 on this thing.
Apparently the other lenses they max out at 30. So you're wasting at least 10 megapixels.
So I've just wasted all my money on the lenses. I have to go buy yet more lenses, and they were
well
bloody
done, Sony.
expensive.
Well done, Sony.
Yeah, you look ripping all my money and like taking it all. And, you know what's that line? Shut up and take my money.
Yes, take my money, Sony. But
Okay.
yeah, they have this 2.8 nowadays.
We have
aperture.
a FE 24-70 2.8. So this is your standard wide angle to short telephoto lens. This is the one you'll be shooting most of the time.
Yep.
2.8, great. So good and low light, nice blur in the background. Now I like my prime lenses, so I have about a stop and a half more by changing lenses all the time. But now I could just put a prime lens on and not have to change lenses all the time.
Your zoom lens, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I shoot regularly with the 55 one. It's a 1.4. No, 1.8.
1.8.
Yeah.
That's size sonar.
Yeah, the size. And I have a 28 millimeter f2,
yes.
and I'm always swapping these. And if I get this, I don't have to. Now this probably is going to be very heavy.
Ooh, I think it is. Let's take a look at the specs.
Specifications.
What does it say?
Wait, there is Oz. I don't know what that
Ounce.
is. What's an ounce?
Ooh.
I like Australian, so I need to know kilograms. Anyway, don't worry, it's heavy. Just assume it's heavy because there's a lot of glass and it's wide aperture. Now, the Canon equivalent of this, which I am somewhat familiar with, is a very big lens. It's very heavy, it's solid, but 2.8. So it could be a standard lens. So it's going to be expensive, but it'd be worth getting, and you don't have to keep changing lenses. I'm not sure if I want to switch. I'm happy with changing lenses because I'm pretty fast at it. I have a bag here, but you know, maybe I might get one of these later, but not now. I don't need that.
Yeah.
What else?
How
do
about
we
this
have?
one though? You probably need this one though, right? You don't need have a.
Well, I have the F4 too. I have the F4.
Huh?
70 to 200.
But wouldn't you want, like, these are usually for indoors, if anything.
Now one whole stock is a lot, especially when you're on telephoto, because telephoto magnifies all the movement.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is actually a really good lens. This is very useful. And I kind of wish they had this out earlier, because I would have spent the extra money on that. Now I might think about selling my F4 version of that and getting this one. I'm sure it's a lot heavier, so something to consider.
Something to consider. Yeah, weight is pretty important as well.
Yeah,
despite anything, but weight is actually a really big factor on these lenses.
Now, here's another thing. The sensors are getting more sensitive. Like every generation, they get like almost like a stock more sensitive. So if you have an old, the F4 version, don't pull your hair up, because just spend your money on the body and
A7S2.
so but at least you have this option, yeah. So it's good to have the option. I might stick with the F4
for a while. I guess it's lighter anyway, so
yeah.
I mean, unless you really want the extra 10 megapixels, then you change to these lenses.
So these are sharper as well. So
they're sharper. They're way sharper.
Consideration. Now we have another 85mm lens, 1.4.
Is this even a prime lens? It's so heavy.
This looks heavy, yeah. Now, there's too much choice with the 85mm portrait lens, and 1.4 is great. You can
20.
If this focuses
it's
fast,
as heavy as your 70 to f/28 ounce. This is as heavy as the 24 to 70.
Okay,
lens,
so another heavy lens, and very expensive, I'm sure. Now there are too many choices for 85. Now I should bring it out here and show you. Well, maybe I should go and grab it.
You have 2 minutes. You have 5 minutes. Where's your cap?
Don't use lens caps. So this is the F4 version. A bit of a gripe while I'm at it. I had to tape these down because when I pull them out, they always switch to manual focus and the stabilizer's off, and it really annoys me. I shoot stuff and then come home later and realize the stabilizer has been pushed to off, and then everything is not as sharp as it could be. So that's why the tape's there. So basically they have a 2.8 version of this, which is probably a lot heavier. Now, this is my 85. It's a Samyang lens. So they make manual focus lenses. So I actually have the 85, but I love the eye autofocus, and Sony have done some really good work with their autofocus. So I actually want something that autofocuses, because this is too slow because I'm trying to capture the moment, or I want pin sharp focus on the eye. And the Sony A700, which is that camera recording now, can do that. So I want to get rid of this one and get an autofocus one, so I can make sure when I shoot portraits, the eye is sharp. It's really important.
But the problem with this though, the problem with this lens, really big problem. What's the size factors? They from the exact, like from their friend size, Sony size. I mean,
well, they sell it in the Sony store, so okay.
Yeah, they have
option?
a friend with the 85, and it weighs, how much is this? Product highlights with
so we have some options here, and Sony make a macro 85, but it's a bit slower. So that one's I think it's a 2.5 or a 2.8. So
where's the specs?
It's about a whole stop slower.
How heavy is this thing?
B and H, huh?
Specs. Features, weight. It's 1 pound. What's that in ounce?
I don't know.
Doing.
Okay, anyway.
Anyway, I heard it's lighter.
So.
And it's a size. I would go for the size.
So why are there so many options with
Oh,
lenses?
it's even cheaper.
So there's a Zeiss 85 1.8. It's pretty much the same thing. It's like a third of a stop. Not gonna make much difference.
Yeah.
There's a Sony G.
There's a G Master now.
G Master is it?
There's a G Master. It's a new series.
And then there's a Sony Macro 85. And then if you want a cheap option, there's a Samyang one, which is manual focus, but it's quite a good lens. This one it's a lot cheaper. So, which one to get? This is like
get the Canon 85f 1.4.
Yeah, and then put an adapter on it.
Yeah. Well, no, it's 1.2, right? Is it?
The thing is, I don't know.
What's the G lens? The very famous one. Is it the G? Is it 1.2?
G lens.
No, the L lens. The very famous L lens for 89, 72, 1.2, something like that.
No, well, Canon have a 85 1.4 as well.
Yeah.
But if you're doing video, it doesn't really autofocus on the Sony. So it is better to stick with native stuff.
Yeah, get this. Get this. Get the size.
But then, okay,
No
Zeiss
brainer.
exists. Why would they even come up with another lens?
They claim that these lenses are only reaches to 30 megapixels.
But it's a Zeiss.
Yeah.
It's a good brand, at least.
Yeah, but it hit the 40. But like they claim the G Master
This
series
is
are for like
It's
50.
stupidly annoying. I'm sure they came out within half a year of each other.
Yeah.
So
Sony is not having a good time with Zeiss.
are they like not friends anymore?
I don't know. They're supposed to be friends. Apparently they're not. They're competing with each other nowadays. So.
Does anyone want a cheap, good condition f4 lens? Anyway, this is kind of it's kind of one of those things in photography which you want a lot of gear, but it's like buying a computer or a phone. Like gear gets upgraded, and then you want to sell off your old stuff, and you want to have the best and latest. It might not even help you take better photos, but a whole stop in low light with a telephoto is really helpful. It really is. If you're shooting event stuff, if you're shooting conference stuff, you want to give clients good files, low noise. So that one stop does help. So
Yeah.
it's expensive. So all these things you need to decide. What are you shooting? Is it within your means? All these things. So a little frustrating. I wish.
So
I wish
at
the
least,
stuff was cheap.
at least they're giving
It's
more
not.
options on their lenses nowadays. So
Kind of more options. Kind of a good thing.
I don't know. I never have the problem with Sony having not. Do you agree that Sony doesn't give enough lenses to us to use?
Actually, that's a good thing. Before, I mean, I had the first full frame Sony, the A7R. Okay, the R came out very close to when the A7 came out. So actually, they came out at the same time. I remember. There's a high megapixel version, which was the A7R Mark 1, and then there was the A7. A7. That's it.
Yep.
And that was the slightly faster autofocusing, but they were too similar, and then that was 24 megapixel or something.
Fair enough.
And there were not many lenses out, and that was a problem when you wanted to switch. You could always get an adapter if you had existing lenses, but Sony didn't have many lenses, but now they do, which is not a bad thing. Now,
Well done, Sony.
they're getting there. Would be nice to have some really fast telephoto. So this is a zoom, but we could get like a 200 or 300 prime and have it really fast. However, 2.8 is already pretty quick, so it's good. It's now a viable option for professionals in a lot of ways. I have to stop the video, so just hang in there.
I think we're done actually.
We have to wrap up.
Conclusion. We're back.
Just like that. Sony stuff's getting pretty good. There's still a few things that they need to work on. I wish there was a better TTL option for flash. I want to have a nice flash off camera, nice powerful one where I can overpower the sun. Now I have a Nikon flash, which is the these names, i7000 or 68 or something like that. But I want a really powerful studio head that I can bring out into the sun and overpower the sun and do TTL. So that would be cool. but this isn't really a manufacturer thing. This is more of a third party thing.
Yeah.
So this is like a Photex or a Profoto or a Broncolor or manufacturer like that to make. But you know, Sony stuff's getting pretty good.
Yep, I have to say, I'm impressed. A6300.
So now professionals can choose from the big 2.9, the 2 being Canon and Nikon, and Sony are almost there now. Their camera's getting good, so Sony the third contender, and they're trying to get good. So I like that.
Cool. So
we should do a show on mirrorless first.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's it. Thanks for watching Josh Tan Create Diary panel show with Draflier.
Yes.
And we're still figuring all this out. We're going to be a bit shorter, and we've got our setup. We're going good, so.
Yeah, we're going good. So enjoy Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Go hey fa choi. Good luck, and we'll catch you next time on the show. Dance and music.